Moore Walton was born on the 29th of March 1918 in Kingfisher, Oklahoma. He lived with his poor parents, Thomas and Nancy Walton, on the family's farm. In a bid to fight against poverty, Samuel's father ventured into farm mortgaging. But despite his effort, the family still battled with financial difficulties. During the Great Depression, a major economic collapse in the United States from 1929 to 1940, the family's struggle increased. Samuel, who was still pretty young at this time, took up so many odd jobs to make ends meet and support his family. After completing his high school in 1936, he attended the University of Missouri, where he successfully graduated with a degree in economics in the year 1940. A few months after graduating from college, he got a job, which he later resigned from when the Second World War started. He left his job and served in the army throughout the war. In 1945, after returning back to his civilian life, Samuel borrowed some money from his father-in-law, which he used to start up a business. He bought a franchise, opened a store, and began a retail business. Just a few years later, Samuel experienced success as an entrepreneur, so he decided to expand the business. However, the expansion was not possible due to an issue he had with Ben Franklin Stores, the establishment he had bought his franchise from. Samuel had to start up his business again from scratch. This time, he was ready to do it independently. However, this hard-working man was confronted by some roadblocks. Some of his acquaintances told him many of the crises he would likely experience in the entrepreneurial world. But Samuel wasn't bothered at all. He was not scared of failing as an entrepreneur. Even though the road was rough, he decided to still journey on that path. In 1962, Samuel opened his first retail store called Wal-Mart Discount City Store. In 1967, he had opened about 25 stores, making up to $12 million yearly. His business eventually went public after he named it Wal-Mart Store Incorporated, generating at least $1 billion in annual sales. By 1990, Samuel had become richer than most of the wealthiest entrepreneurs in the United States. Today, Wal-Mart Stores Incorporated has grown to be the largest corporation in the world by revenue and the world's largest private employer. In life, some people are always scared of failing at a particular thing. This fear of failure has prevented them to do things they could have done successfully. Although overcoming the fear of failure isn't easy, but the moment you build up your confidence not to allow fear to get to you, then you will find yourself achieving a lot. Dennis Waitley said, "Forget about the consequences of failure. Failure is only a temporary change in direction to set you straight for the next success. There is no need to be scared of the outcome of your failure. When you fail, don't ever think the road has come to an end of you. Rather, be reassured that a change has occurred, a positive change which will position you for success." Theodore Roosevelt said, "It's hard to fail, but it's worse never to have tried to succeed." As someone ready to achieve success, make sure you are not in the category of people who are afraid of trying to do things that would certainly result in success. Although it will be difficult for you to take that bold decision to try out a thing, don't let the fear of failure stop you from reaching for the stars. Always remember, it will be terrible and probably regrettable if you decide not to attempt succeeding. Napoleon Hill said, "No man ever achieved worthwhile success who did not at one point or the other find himself with at least one foot hanging well over the brink of failure." It's almost impossible to find someone who has attained a position of greatness in life without having to experience or know what it feels like to fail. You may not necessarily fail while trying to succeed, but the fear of failure will definitely discourage you. Moore Walton was confronted by the fear of failure when he was about starting his business, but he completely ignored it and marched on to success. Don't be scared of failing. Samuel wasn't.